So let's just go through the most important contents in your grab bag. Obviously, if we were going on a long trip, I would have more. I'd have my passports, and I'd have maybe spare food and water and torches and all that kind of thing in it. But for now, the law requirement is as follows. We need 4 of these rocket flares. They're valid for 3 years. So the way you'd use them is you'd hold them here, you'd unscrew this cap, there's a toggle on the end, you pull the toggle, make sure it's pointing downwind, not at the helicopter, and it sends a big rocket flare up into the sky. You've all seen them. So this is a category A vessel, which means I can go offshore. It needs 4 of those. I've got a orange smoke canister. So, smoke canister, pull that toggle, throw it on the water, lets out a huge big cloud of orange smoke, brilliant to see during the day. I've got a pair of gloves so you don't burn your hands when you use the flares. I've got a plastic orange sheet. Move this out. Plastic orange sheet that you can put on the deck, makes planes spot you easier. Got a signaling mirror and a whistle, very effective. You look through the hole and you signal, works very effectively. I've got 6 of these so-called emergency space blankets. So if we have a man overboard situation, for example, and you've been in the water for quite a while and you're suffering from hypothermia, we bring you on board, strip all your clothes off, stick you in one of these, put you inside a warm sleeping bag and keep you prone for the next however many hours to make sure that you're okay. Then I've got 4 of these handheld flares. So if you're a Barcelona fan, then you know those red flares that the fans use in the stadium. Same sort of thing. You hold it here, you pull this out to about there, unscrew the cap, the toggle, and then you've got this red handheld flare for a mayday situation. And then they also require us to have what in the old days were the sails, the flags that they used to have. So they would have the 2 important ones for a mayday situation is Charlie, which this is Charlie, which means yes, and we've got November, which means no. So you would fly November over Charlie from your starboard spreader outside, and this used to be an international sign for distress before VHF radios and before cell phones, etc. So remember that a mayday situation is defined as a situation where there's grave and imminent danger to the vessel or to the crew. So I'm just going to put you back here and we'll just have a quick wrap up of the most important safety stuff. So as I said, in your grab bag, obviously if you're on a longer trip, you'd have your passports and your cell phones and some spare torches and batteries and all that kind of thing you would have in there as well. Quite useful. So I think we've covered all the most important safety equipment. This boat and most modern VHF radios have a DSC, or Digital Selective Calling Facility. So if I just zoom in a bit closer on this VHF radio, this little distress button here, if you press that red button and hold it for about 5 seconds, the radio emits an emergency signal on all other radios that have that same facility, which is a mayday or distress situation. So then all other people within a 30 or 40 mile radius that have got VHF radios with a digital selective calling facility will hear that emergency alarm and then stand by on their radios and wait for the actual signal. So what needs to happen here is, if you make a mayday call, you hold that distress button in, it makes the alarm, and then you're going to call up. So remember, there must be grave and imminent danger to you or your crew or the vessel. i.e. it's sinking, etc. And the Mayday call is the same throughout the world, and it goes like this. So if we were in a dangerous situation, distress situation, I'd say Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is the vessel, sailing vessel Chantecler, Chantecler, Chantecler. My call sign is Zulu Romeo 8823. My MMSI number, which will be on the above the radio. MMSI number is 6011 50500. Then I say Mayday once more, and I say Chantecler once more. I repeat my call sign, I repeat my MMSI number, and then I say, what's my position? So if I look on the GPS, it'll tell me what the position is, where I am, or I'm sailing close to an island and I'll say I'm 2 miles east of Robben Island. We've hit a container, or we've had a whale jump on board, it's cracked the vessel is sinking. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 people on board, we require immediate assistance, out. So now I've notified everybody in the area what's happening, and now we'll await. So Cape Town Radio will call us on channel 16, or any other chap who's sailing close by, who's got a VHF radio with that facility, will call up if he doesn't hear any of the major stations calling you up, and then relay. So the Mayday situation is quite critical and needs to be practiced, and it has to be given word for word in that situation.